The European Union's flagship policy to restore damaged nature is hanging in the balance, with the vote to pass the law on Monday cancelled after Hungary withdrew its support for the bill.
We would like to see realistic targets, because if we overburden the economy, it's going to backfire on the climate targets as well. So Hungary still completely agrees with the objectives of the proposal. You have to know that in Hungary right now already approximately 1/3 of the country's territory is in near nature status. So we still think that at national level it is possible to do everything that is necessary to have nature protection. And we have to highlight that in the meantime, in the big political context, many things happened. And it convinced us that for the sake of subsidiarity and sovereignty, if you connect it with food security, it is very important to keep the flexibility for member states.
Some EU diplomats said Hungary's already large protected natural areas meant the country could comply with the content of the EU nature law and suggested Budapest's move was a purely political one. Some other countries warned against cancelling the policy. Belgium, which holds the European Union's rotating presidency and thus chairs negotiations among member states, has not yet rescheduled the vote.
As you've read, it seems that we don't have any more qualified majority because it seems then that Hungary has changed its vote. We have to understand why they do that, if it's the case, and we will work on it. It is still a priority for the Belgian presidency to land and to succeed in this file, and we will do our best to do that.
I think it is in a very difficult position at the moment, and with upcoming European elections it won't be easy to get out of this position. We'll see what's going to happen next on that.
I think this is a very, very important file. I think that Europe cannot afford killing its nature. It is so important to restore nature. It is not only because it is part of our legal obligations after the COP15 in Montreal. It is also because it provides life to our soils, to our ecosystems, and this has a very relevant economic and social value.
The law to restore nature will be among the European Union's biggest environmental policies, requiring countries to introduce measures restoring nature on a fifth of their land and sea by 2030. Its aim is to turn around the ailing health of Europe's natural habitat, 81% of which are classed as in poor condition. But the law has faced a backlash from some governments and lawmakers concerned it would impose burdensome rules on farmers or clash with other uses of land, such as industry and housing construction.
What I can say is that my view is that there is no alternative than to continue with climate action. What is important, though, is that we make sure that all those Europeans who are very much worried about what is happening in terms of climate change, but also articulate their worries about competitiveness and how this affects their lives, that all these concerns are taken into account.
Other countries, including Italy, Poland and Sweden, have opposed the law, while Belgium and Austria are set to abstain, European Union officials said. The nature law is the latest EU environmental policy to come under fire, as policymakers scramble to respond to months of angry farmers' protests over complaints, including strict green EU regulations. The European Union has already weakened numerous green rules to attempt to quell the protests.